Again, just me. Trying to get used to this stuff. This recording. Right. So skills of the mix up. So that's part of the course, right? Learning stuff. Um, at any rate, what I've done is also to be creative and on these trips that I did for them. And basically, uh, picked up a pen and paper and started to color. And one of the things that got me through was either writing a poem, drawing something, or simply journaling. Um, One of the things that happened, yeah, from that particular trip, excuse me, was that we went on this walkabout through Venezuela, and there was this ecological village area, and there was these. I think it was an animal that was one of the girls were petting it as I think it was an anteater. It's the sea natural live anteater, which is marvelous. And I've never seen one. And then to see the vegetables and the fruit, but that's gorgeous. To see mangoes growing on trees. And coming from Canada, we grow apples. They have mangoes. Um, they have their part of their Amazon jungle. We have our forest in Canada. And we can actually get out some fires, just like Amazon has some fires. And that's been part of our problem and their problem, but there are lots of similarities between the countries, even though I don't speak Spanish or Venezuelan language. Uh, I know aqua is water. Okay, so I'm limited. Anyway, but part of what we learned was about these coral problems that they have. We have coral problems in Canada. There are indigenous people who are fighting for their rights, their land rights in Canada as well, just as much as they are in Venezuela. The difference is that although they've had to struggle with police, they've had a number of encounters with police, they have been bush shoved and all this stuff, but they haven't been killed. There have been instances where people have been arrested and put in jail in Canada. Um, so they haven't gotten to the point where there's like a civil unrest. And because the government has decided to try and meet people where they are and try and see if the truth and reconciliation programs that they try to insert into the relationship between the indigenous people in Canada and the rest of Canada. Canada is on native land, and a lot of people do respect that. They do have the reserves. They do have places that they go to. Um, New Zealand has indigenous people. Australia has indigenous people. They too have their land that they live on, and they have their customs that they live with. It's just as much as Canada has our ways that they live. Um, it'd be, I think it would be more different in other places, like in Afghanistan or in Iraq and Iran. All these different places have their indigenous tribes or people that they have skirmishes with. Some more, even in the Philippines, I heard recently that they have their problems as well. And I think if we started to come to terms about understanding, at least in part, because if we don't start that kind of talk about understanding each other, then how can we get to find a place of peace? Um, that's part of the thing that I've been trying to strive at. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to eventually get Taiwan myself and to try and explore the world, to try and understand where people are at. And I think that is important because if we don't start looking at each other where people are at, then how can we come to terms about making peace and reconciliation, about trying to make, okay, that this is your problem, these are these sets of problems, and uh, how can we come to terms? In Canada, what they have said, the indigenous people said, is that, look, we have our rivers and our streams that we look at, and uh, that's where they get their food from. And they don't want their water polluted, and they don't want their fish to die as a result of the oil. Uh, when in fact we do with climate change. Pardon me. And part of climate change is um, uh, they had dried some of the rivers dried up in BC, and some of our fish died. And and it's painful to analyze for them. Uh, I took my daughter and I, or my oldest daughter, Renee and I, we decided to take the grandchildren out to go and see actual fish being put into the rivers, into the parks, or our fish stocks, so that they can actually see a fish in their own hands, their own little hands, and then put into the rivers and see where they start and see where they end up to some degree. And that is a live thing that they do in Canada. And I think our leaders do recognize that as stuff happens. And I would not be surprised if they have similar programs out in Venezuela or in other parts where children are actually taught about where the fish come from and where they are put into their river streams and how they can survive and why they do, why fish do what they do. And I think that's part of the lesson that we have learned in Canada. And if by going to another country and saying how they deal with their fish, well, in Venezuela, we have looked at their fish, and basically they have the piranhas there, and they catch them, they eat them sometimes they don't eat them, and you can put bait. Um, and they, some of them don't have as many clothes as what our indigenous people have. They don't have the big screen TVs or big RV cars, but they do have a sense of purpose. But they don't make a whole lot of money, and they don't have a lot of things. But you know what? People are going out here and thinking the most Canadians. They don't have two cents to rub against each other, but they're happy. I I was uh, we were walking along this plank, and there was a crossing that was sort of adjacent towards one piece to the other. And one of the things that struck me was humor. And I was terrified of some of the water because I knew that there was piranhas on each side of this river thing. And I'm having to cross this thing, and it's only like 2 feet wide, and I can land on either side. So I naturally just would go across with my feet, and they'll be okay. And people laughed at me at that point. It was like, oh, look at this silly woman. She's crossing this river, crawling. And it was fine. Are you guys hearing me? Oh, yes. Okay, green light's working. That's fine. And so finally, the people sort of recognized that, yeah, we get scared. Yeah, we have our problems. And, it's all fine to be laughed at sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to make an ass of yourself and be laughed at. It's like back in the day, um, my I started introducing films to my kids when they're young, and they have watched this movie. It was White Christmas, and in White Christmas, they have the two stars, uh, uh, Jimmy, Billy. God, the names are not in my brain at the moment. But they had these two stars, and they were dancing. Two male stars. They were dancing with these boas, and the song called Sisters. Sisters, sisters. And uh, there were no two other sisters like us. And they sang the two females sang the song. There were sisters in this film. And they sang the song with such good heart and such love for being a sister that they made these boas. And after his parent died, two of my daughters had decided to put a boa on their arm. And part of that is because two sisters sung the song together, and two of the men decided to sing the same song. Were they real killed like that? Yeah, to some degree. The movie is written in the 1950s, and but they got along. You know, in those movies they used to have sailors dressed up with coconuts for their boobs, and they made a bra that fit like for the coconuts, right? And then flip them up and around the back and all this stuff, and made hula skirts for the men to wear. And they danced around in those in that particular song. And they also made similar things in other movies about how men had been dressed up and carried on and thought of each other. And it was sometimes there was some of those 50s movies, if you choose to go and look at them, some of them are hilarious and some of them are absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Some of them are just fun, you know. That's what that was my father's stage in his time, was how they behaved with each other. And but that's what I grew up with. And some of that had been shown to my kids, and they took it really kind of well because they ignored the fact that sisters can get along, and that brothers can get along, um, and sometimes they don't get along when they get two guns or two stones, and things fall apart, and they fall back together again when they talk. And then when Sarah comes off herself. Oh my god. Anyway, um, yeah, that's not resolved for me. I'm sorry. I thought about therapy. I tried therapy, and I still think I deserve some answers. But you know, like if a good girlfriend was a good girlfriend, it's like, gee, why couldn't we be, go grab a cup of coffee? Or, hey Sarah, why not take a nap and sleep it off? Those why questions always get you. But why things made up to where they are. And, oh, like I want an inquest. No, it ain't gonna happen. But you know what? Sarah has the moxie to dress up for Halloween. And she has the moxie to have people laugh at herself. But nobody's quite laughing now because I'm wearing her fingerprint. They make doggy prints, now they make human prints. And I'm wearing it. One of the things that happened, oh my god, one of the things that happened was, um, back in the 90s, I hit 7, I was close to 90, you know, 98 or something. I would say close to 2000, year 2000. I'm going back 30 years. And basically what happened was, uh, the ex-husband decided to take the toilet out. And out of the basement out of the house and decided to not reinstall it because not to reinstall the toilet because I don't know why. It had to do with money. Like I'm sure that the piece of honey that or the honey hole that he put into the toilet probably was maybe $5. Maybe costing more less back then than it does now. I don't know. And you know, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'll get this rope and tie it around the toilet and fling it up on the side and fling it over and fling it into place and just wrap around this whole little bit. That's what I actually thought of doing myself. And instead, he decides to ride in onto the car with his mother in tow. He says, if you can come in and try and fix it for me. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like, no, I'm calling the cops now because you're doing something really dumb. And I wanted to install the toilet myself. I was prepared to use ropes and tie it up and fling it. And he said he's gonna fix it. Well, he could have fixed it the last 6 months before, but he didn't. Anyway. Anyway. But what the other part is, I'm still proud of my daughter. And she's making these t-shirts and she's singing the songs. Go check out her site at on Spotify and go listen to her song. Travis Kid, woman, not even a woman. She's a he, they. She's a they. And she sings these light lovely songs, and she's got teeth, and she's wonderful, and she's special, and she's terminally unique like her mother. And volunteer stuff, she's fabulous. I mean, uh, I read you some of the last song she sent me, but you know, she's talking about politicians last event that she had. She's become fabulous, you know, and oh, you know, there's so much to talk about. Is anybody there? No? Oh no, I cut out again. Hello? Hello? I cut out again. Hello? Anybody hear me? Hello? No! What? I froze? Oh, you can help me. What's going on? It was money. Wow. Hello? 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 Sorry about that. I'll have to figure this out. Somebody wants money. There's the other part that I need people to like my videos and to subscribe now and to share. That's three things that you guys can do for me. It is like, share, and subscribe. And I really would like to get this posted. And I, eventually want to start some kind of talk radio show where people can phone in and we talk about the different issues and they can agree to disagree or what have you. Um, but I'm going to end it here, I think, and because it's been like 22 minutes and no one's on here. It's also like 12:03, so it's late. Um, but thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight if you're still here. And we'll try this again another time. And thanks very much for everything. Good night.